us in greater details. For presentation, my name is Frida Leina Voma. As Christians and Muslims embark on intense fasting and prayers during this holy period, coexistence, unity and peace have been prescribed as a panacea for a religious and diversified Cameroon. This is contained in an editorial by staffman Mwambo Williams.
It is no magic nor man-made coincidence, but the making of God, call him Allah, that the beginning of fasting and prayers for both the Christians and Muslims began on the same day, this Wednesday, the 18th of February 2026. It is just a show of unity in religious diversity. As Christians mark the beginning of Lent with Ash Wednesday, and Muslims prepare for Ramadan under the sighting of the crescent moon, we are reminded that faith brings people together, even in religious diversity. In Cameroon, where Christians and Muslims coexist, today's observances highlight our shared values, which are prayers, fasting, and reflections. These moments remind us that religious freedom is a foundation for dialogue, peace, and unity. As we navigate differences, let's focus on what unites us, like compassion, for forgiveness, and the pursuit of a better Cameroon. In a country that needs peace and unity, let's then embrace our religious diversity and strength. Let us pray for our God-given leaders, pray for peace, unity, and respect for all faith.
And so this year is very particular because we are starting the Ramadan when the Christians are starting also their 40 days Lent period. We think that God in his infinite mercy takes a decision when he wants, and when it happens, he but says be. And so this year it has happened the way it has happened. Is also a lesson for us to teach us humanity, that we are all one.
Therefore, ecumenical services call it interfaith come together, interreligious community projects, religious exchange programs, interreligious educational and cohabitation, interreligious sharing meals at fast-breaking meals. All these can be a panacea to dialogue, reconciliation, coexistence, and the much-needed peace and unity. This is also a call for opportunistic politicians to know that the day of political reckoning is near. Therefore, truth and service should be the watchword to set a path for a Cameroon free of political instability and a political level landscape for all.
Staffman Mwambo William ending that report. Still in religion, Ramadan Karim, the Muslim community in Cameroon and the world over gear up for a month of fasting, reflection and spiritual growth following the sighting of the crescent moon. In Cameroon, the crescent moon was sighted in Yagua, far north region of the country. The announcement was made public by the spokesperson of the National Commission for the Crescent Moon in Cameroon. Details in the following report.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Chers frères et sœurs dans la foi, j'ai l'immense plaisir de vous annoncer que le croissant lunaire marquant le début du mois de Ramadan a été aperçu dans la ville de Yagua.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ramadan begins today, Wednesday, February 18, 2026. According to Muslim clerics, the crescent moon marks the beginning of a new lunar month, signifying the start of Ramadan, a period of fasting, reflection, and spiritual growth, a period which is extremely significant to the Muslim community. In a communique highlighting the start of Ramadan, the spokesperson of the National Commission for the Crescent Moon in Cameroon announced the sighting of the moon.
Il a transmis cette information à son tour au sultan de Ouandala qui m'a contacté en m'envoyant également le vocal, n'est-ce pas, du lamido des Yagua. Et je vous annonce cette nouvelle. Nous sommes ici au siège de l'Association culturelle islamique du Cameroun à Yaoundé, à SIC, pour la veillée spéciale Ramadan.
Ramadan is a time for forgiveness, compassion, and self-improvement. It is on this note that Royal Television extends its warm wishes to all Muslim faithful across the globe while praying for a peaceful and prosperous world. Alhamdulillah. As Muslim faithful across the national territory observe the start of Ramadan, they have been reminded to uphold the virtues of Islam and Islam practices like sharing, showing love, as well as forgiveness. The call was made by the Chief Imam of the Boya Central Mosque, Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, in this exclusive interview with Royal Television.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, the Chief Imam, Central Mosque Boya, and the Regional President of the Council of Imams and Muslim Dignitaries, the Southwest Branch. The significance of Ramadan cannot be overemphasized. Just like any other act of worship in Islam, Ramadan is one out of 5 pillars of Islam which Allah had decreed, and so fasting in it is an obligation. He says in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 183, "O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed for you as was prescribed for those before you, so that you become more God conscious." And the Prophet Muhammad said, Ramadan is a month in which fasting was decreed by God, and is one out of the 5 pillars of Islam. The scholars of Islam, the 4 Imams, all agree that anybody who questions its validity stops to be a Muslim. And so this year is very particular because we are starting the Ramadan when the Christians are starting also their 40 days Lent period. We think that is God in his infinite mercy takes a decision when he wants, and when it happens he but says be. And so this year it has happened the way it has happened. Is also a lesson for us to teach us humanity that we are all one. After all, when God is saying fasting has been prescribed for you as was prescribed for those before you, not only Muslims are observing the fast. You can take the example of Maryam, the mother of Jesus, who fasted when she received the message that she was going to bear the son Jesus, and the archangel Gabriel, when she asked what would be as a lesson or an ayah, he said you abstain from talking with people for 3 days. She didn't only abstain from food, she also abstained from talking, and so these are some of the lessons that we learn from it. The period this year is very particular because we are going through a very huge challenges. We have security challenges. We are having a moral decadence challenges. We are having this youth delinquency. Things that are happening in society today are very strange. That people did not happen yesterday. We'll take advantage during this period to advise our imams, especially because this is a period of rebirth. Our spiritual rebirth is going to be heightened. We're advising the imams to use this period to educate our youth, to inculcate in them the moral values of peace, of social cohesion, of love, tolerance, and all those things that can bring humanity to love God. After all, the fasting is that period where you will build for 1 month, and the rest 9 months is a training. The rest 11 months is a training for you that you keep for throughout the whole year. So with this, we are advising our parents to take their responsibility, because during times of fasting, some parents will say, "No, my child is not yet an adult." They are not the people to detect when the child has to fast. It has been legislated. Every Muslim, male or female, who is adult and sane are supposed to observe the fast. So this is the advantage we have during this period. Pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for your state, and pray for the entire world. There are a lot of challenges today. Pray that people should have what to eat, and let there be sanity in the way people think, the way they reflect. Let there be security in our schools, in our homes, in our towns. This is what we can say as we begin this very important journey, spiritual journey, come 29 or 30 days throughout this month of Ramadan.
On to other news. During this time of conflicts and falling standards in our traditional settings, political neutrality, truth and service have been prescribed as the way for a stable and united Cameroon. This, according to pundits, can be achieved through community dialogue, peace and coexistence. Royal TV's editorialist Mwambo William attempts these possible solutions for News Hour. Take a listen. We'll give you that report in our subsequent newscast. On to other news, and this feature story, the coming of the social media has brought about so many changes in lifestyle and culture. In light with this, makeup has gradually come to stay. Little wonder most women are now glued to makeup as part of their daily routine. Honorin Chen takes us to this makeup parlor in Boya, southwest region of Cameroon, where girls and women do makeup for various occasions, as it also translates to diverse expressions and facial alterations. Her report looks at the synopsis of makeup from A to Z in the following package.
The dream of every woman is to feel beautiful, happy, and bold, especially when it comes to looks. Makeup is that thing which gives a spark to every woman, transforming her face to something delightful. Makeup is the judicious application of cosmetic products like foundation, mascara, and a lipstick in the bid to alter the appearance of the face or give it a bold lift. Makeup is a process that begins with preparing the face with micellar water, after which moisturizer is applied.
I prep my face using micellar water. That is cleaning the face. Then from there I had to moisturize my face using Cetaphil. From moisturizing my face, I had to prime it with the milk of magnesia.
Away from the face, we also have the brows, which is an essential part to work on. A lot is needed to outline the brows, from the concealer to filling it in properly. Next comes the application of foundation, and all foundations come in different shades for diverse skin types and tones. When the blend is impeccable, the glow is extra and the finish is perfect.
From there, I had to draw my brows using an eye pencil. Then I had to fill it to have this look. So from there, I had to do my eyeshadow. I had to use my Morphe eyeshadow to have this look. Then for the eyeliner, I had to use my shadow pomade to have this eyeliner on my face.
In a nutshell, makeup, depending on the person, is directed for all occasions and use.
I had to use 2 shades to have this shade. Depends on you. We have weddings, we have birthday parties, just like, let me say, events.
The lips and cheeks are amongst the other parts of the face that are touched and tweaked in the process of makeup. No makeup is complete without the setting spray. Now, let's take a zoom on the mother's face. This is what a good makeup looks like, so go get yourself every woman's delight, that is, makeup.
On to news out of the country. At least 38 miners have died in a gas explosion at a lead mine in Plateau State, central Nigeria. Authorities say the blast happened early Wednesday with several others injured, and investigations are underway. In more foreign news, thousands of families fleeing fresh violence in South Sudan say they have no food in overcrowded displacement camps as new clashes deepen the country's humanitarian crisis. Aid agencies warn hunger is worsening, with women and children at the hardest hit. Details of the stories and more with Nanga Sonia.
38 lead miners were killed when gas exploded at a pit in central Nigeria's Plateau State. 27 others have been injured in the blast at the Kampanin Zurak mining site in Plateau State's Basha district. A confidential security report attributes the death of the miners to carbon monoxide poisoning. Kampanin Zurak is an ore mining settlement in the Wasa district. The state is a historical mining region with its capital Jos known as the Tin City, but mining activities have slowed in recent years. Several similar accidents have killed miners in Nigeria previously. At least 18 people were killed in Zamfara state in the northwest after a boulder crashed onto an illegal mine during heavy rains in September. Authorities in the country have blamed illegal mining for the worsening of bandit violence, with criminal gangs getting money from protection fees they extort from miners. Kenya will begin rolling out a revolutionary new HIV prevention drug in March, offering near complete protection with just 2 shots a year. The move comes as African nations scramble to adapt to shifting U.S. foreign aid priorities. Lena Kapavi, manufactured by Gilead Sciences, reduces HIV transmission risk by over 99.9%. Kenya received its first batch of 21,000 doses on Tuesday through a deal with the Global Fund. The first phase will begin early March, covering 15 countries, Health Minister Aden Duale announced, with an additional 12,000 doses expected by April. Eastern and Southern Africa account for 52% of the 40.8 million people living with HIV worldwide. The US has committed an additional 25 doses to Kenya, which has a 3.7% HIV prevalence rate. In December, Kenya signed a $2.5 billion bilateral health deal with the US, the first since Trump dismantled USAID. Washington will provide $1.6 billion over 5 years, while Kenya contributes $850 million, gradually assuming more responsibility. However, a Kenyan senator has challenged the agreement in court, citing constitutional violence. The Aboko Teaching Hospital is one of a string in South Sudan that are overwhelmed as fighting in the country rages on. It has only one surgeon and basic resources are running thin on the ground. Dozens of people are being treated for gunshot wounds. According to hospital staff, some patients have been wounded in strikes by the government of South Sudan. South Sudan gained independence 15 years ago, but descended into civil war between 2 rival generals, Salva Kiir and Riek Machar. Nyamaloni Chichot Ngundeng, the information minister of Gongli State, where fighting is ongoing, has urged residents to flee. According to the United Nations, fighting in Gongli State between the army and forces loyal to former Vice President Riek Machar has displaced some 280,000 people since December.
Nanga Sonia, ending our foreign page. We now talk sports in this newscast. Cameroon is strengthening its international sporting partnership as it hosts a high-level delegation from the Democratic Republic of Congo for a strategic working visit focused on the development of 7-a-side football. The 3-day visit in Douala aims to boost cooperation, share expertise, and accelerate the growth of the rapidly emerging discipline in both nations. Details of this story with Kusona Claudia Boma.
Cameroon is currently hosting a high-level delegation from FECOFOOT 7 as part of a 3-day working visit taking place in Douala. The Congolese delegation is led by its president, Lorenzo Kisombe, accompanied by Second Vice President Patricia Kisombe Sylvie and the Secretary General Guy Philin Samputu. They were officially received by Angu Leslie, Vice President of Seven-a-Side Football Association in Cameroon, alongside Bernard Bassong, head of the Legal Affairs Committee, and other senior officials. The visit focuses on strengthening bilateral cooperation and exchanging technical, administrative, and organizational expertise aimed at accelerating the development of seven-a-side football in both countries. Cameroon has already made remarkable progress in structuring the discipline with functional bureaus established across 10 regions of the country. Competitive championships are currently going on in major cities, including Yaoundé, Douala, and Ngaoundéré. The country's ambitions extend beyond national borders. Cameroon is preparing to participate in the discipline's first ever World Cup scheduled to take place in Honduras later this year as historic milestone for the growing sports. Sports analysts believe that this strategic partnership between Cameroon and DR Congo will not only enhance regional collaboration but also position Central Africa as a strong force in the emerging global seven-a-side football landscape.
Still in sports, as the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope approaches, we turn our spotlight to one of the marathon's most determined and inspiring competitors, Sarah Lingu Etonde. Known for her resilience, discipline, and deep connection to the mountain greatness, Sarah continues to embody the fighting spirit that defines the race. In this newscast, we profile her journey, ambitions, and the strides made in the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. Natalie Njuma.
Named from birth, Sarah Lingu Etonge on February 9, 1967 in Boya, southwest region of Cameroon, the iconic marathon athlete, widely celebrated as the Queen of the Mountain, is described as a force to reckon with. Sarah left school early because of the financial hardship and married at a young age, becoming a mother by the age of 14. Widowed, while still struggling to raise her 7 children, plunged her into participating in the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope in her late 20s to provide for her family. Sarah began competing in the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope around the age of 27, securing her first win in 1996 over the 38-kilometer course around Mount Cameroon. She went on to win 4 consecutive races from 1996 to 1999, earning her the unique title Queen of the Mountain, a distinction never awarded to any other competitor, be it male or female, and her latest victory in 2025 at the age of 58. She is best known for her dominant performances in the annual Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, which she won 7 times, making her the only woman to ever secure the title to date. Her championship came in February 2025 after she finished with a time of 5 hours 38 minutes 6 seconds. On March 12, 2025, Etonge was awarded an honorary doctorate degree in mountaineering by Professor Emeritus Lydia Luma of the Cameroon Education Corporation. The race, which is usually held annually in Boya, which spans about 38 kilometers starting from the Moliko Omispo Stadium up to the mountain's summit and returning, is considered one of Africa's toughest mountain races, attracting both local and international participants. Beyond her racing successes, Etonge's achievements helped lift her family out of poverty, as her prize money has supported her 7 children as well as improving their education and standard of living. Meantime, she has multiple times been recognized by many dignitaries, including the Cameroon's First Ladies, Chantal Biya, for her contributions among notable Cameroonian women.
The profile of Sarah Lingu Etonde brings us to the end of News as today. Dear viewers, before we leave you, let's check our top stories. As Christians and Muslims embark on intense fasting and prayers during this holy period, coexistence, unity and peace have been prescribed as a panacea for a religious, diversified Cameroon. Out of the country, we told you that at least 38 miners have died in a gas explosion at a lead mine in Plateau State, central Nigeria. And in sports, Cameroon is strengthening its international sporting partnerships as it holds a high-level delegation from the Democratic Republic of Congo for a strategic working visit focused on the development of 7-a-side football. Thank you so much for listening to News As Today. See you same time, same channel for another edition of News As tomorrow. Stay tuned to more interesting programs on Royal Television. I've been your host for the evening. My name is Frida Lena. Have a lovely time.